What if manifestation wasn't about forcing, grinding, or toxic positivity, but about healing what's been quietly shaping your choices, relationships, and your self worth? She Manifested That is where Black women come to share the real stories behind their manifestations, the healing before the blessings, the boundaries that made space for breakthroughs, and the self trust that changed everything. So if you're ready to manifest your next level, join me, Dr. Dre Cleveland, your personal power coach, and some incredible Black women, and let our stories reflect the life you've lived and the one you're calling in. Stay tuned, sis, and grab your cup of tea, because girl, this is just another way to get your life together. This episode of She Manifested That is powered by Neshama Alahim and the Self-Love Church, the place where Black women can come to fall in love with themselves. Check the link in the show notes for more. Hey sis, welcome back to She Manifested That, the podcast where Black women come together to share real stories behind the blessings, the breakthroughs, and manifestations they've brought into their lives. I'm Dr. Dre Cleveland, your personal power coach, and today we are talking to my sister, Cynthia Bryan, about how she manifested her little girl. Whew, we have a story for you, so let's get into it.
Hey, girl.
Hey. So first, welcome.
Thank you.
This is a long time coming, let me tell you, because you and I both know like manifestation is like a hot topic all the time, right?
It
Because
is.
it's a thing that we do, right? And when I thought about doing this podcast, I thought to myself, like, who do I know that knows how to manifest, knows what they're doing when they manifest certain things and gets the results that they need to get, right? Like obviously all of us, we have our things that are easy to manifest and things that are not easy to manifest. That's for all of us, but not everybody knows how and why they are doing what they're doing or how they're getting what they're getting. Right. So I wanted to bring some people together who have amazing stories to tell and either just have the amazing story and they just legitimately want to share, but also people like you who I know they know what's good. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
yes. So real quick, just tell us who is Cynthia? Who is Cynthia as a person in, let's just say, 5 words?
Cynthia in 5 words, mom, poet, entrepreneur, uh, fierce leader. I know that's, more than 5 words.
Okay.
And just all around woman extraordinaire. I believe in my sisters. I believe in myself. I believe in our children and just everything Black and Black excellence. So, that's where I live. That's who I am.
I hear that. All right. And tell us a little bit about what you manifested.
Oh. So I manifested a lot, but one of the biggest things that I have been clear that it was a just direct manifestation, almost, down to the specific thing. So I manifested my little girl. And I must say I didn't do it by myself, right? But when you speak into existence, the things that you want and you say it enough and you have enough passion behind it,
Mm-hmm.
when you open yourself up to be ready to receive it, things show up. And she is absolutely 110% a clear, direct relation to that thought process. It's
Absolutely.
actually it awes me sometimes
Yeah,
about it. It
for
really
sure.
does.
For sure. But so tell us a little bit about like what was going on in your life before this came about.
Whew. I was married, I was separated, just trying to um just do the best I could for my kids, right? I have 3 kids now. I had 2 boys at the time. I had just gotten out of a marriage, so split from my husband and just trying to rebuild life and do things, date, find myself again, and just kind of be in a space where you can have love, be love, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't think about these things, right? Being married before, both of my boys are from my husband. I wasn't thinking about having another kid, like, oh my God, I gotta have another one. But even after my sons, one of the biggest questions that always came up for me was, hey, Cynthia, would you have another kid? Would you have another baby? And I was always very flippant about it. Like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Um, and for a long time, I said it, but then like I kind of just brushed it off, like whatever. Um, and then uh I got with a person, my daughter's father. I met him. We were kind of doing what we were doing for quite some time. And he used to make mention a lot of him wanting to drop seeds in my back for lack of better verbiage. And again, I was like, yeah, whatever. Um, and a part of me was open to it, but then I realized, hello, girl, you ain't married to this man. What are you doing? Yeah, no, I was good with the idea for a little while, and then I was like, no, Cynthia, please get your life. Like, let's get it together. Like, I literally was like, mm-mm. And that never really that didn't change, right? I literally had to put a stop to myself, but just because of the dynamic, right? We were seeing each other, we're great friends. Um, our personal situation, like it was serious enough, but like I couldn't necessarily call him mine, you know,
Gotcha.
after
Hmm.
coming out of, the situation that I was in and just trying to rebuild my life, just being very careful with anybody who steps into my life because I already have kids, who they see me with, how whoever they see me with treats me. Like, you're very wary and very cognizant of all of those things. Um, so, a couple of, he likes to joke a lot, his Virgo self. And he used to joke, he used to
Late
joke
Virgo
about it.
Silence.
Listen, 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 listen. If there's one thing we know about Virgos, okay? For me, Virgos in my life are hot business. We go together like two peas in a pod, but we have to be very, 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 very careful. Um, but the intensity, he used to joke about it all the time. And like I said, for a while, I just, I brushed it off my shoulder. I was very like, yeah, whatever. Because my boys are 9 years apart, right? So when I had my first son, everybody wants you to pop them out like chiclets.
Of course.
And, I was like, whenever, whenever God is ready. And my second son, even though like a lot of the things that led up to my second son being here wasn't ideal, it wasn't it was the right time, right?
Right.
I felt in the space of his conception, I felt lots of love and openness and whatnot. So he came from that space. So after having my second son, you know, I never let it go. I loved being pregnant. I love being pregnant. That's crazy, right? That's that's crazy. That's crazy. I know the girl's gonna be listening like she is out of her mind. But I did. I I love I still love but I loved the just the whole entire experience. You're creating a being like the literal magic that we are, you feel
Hmm.
during pregnancy. And it amazes me. So I never let it go. I was like, oh yeah, if blah blah blah. And then after I split from my husband and I kind of was in a groove, right? I was seeing this man for a while. My kids know him. Everything was good. We had a good relationship. We never really put labels on what we were. We just enjoyed each other's time and space. Um, he then said to me one time, I don't really want any more kids because of his previous experiences with, his situations. And then talking to my mom, I was turning 40 and my mom was like, oh, you done having kids, blah, blah, blah. Now, girl, let me tell you something. If it's one thing about my Capricorn self, tell me I can't do something.
Okay.
Tell
All right.
me, tell me I can't do something and watch me say, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I, because I love being pregnant and I love the concept of new babies and, the whole situation, I kind of just always left it open. I was like, okay, if before I'm 40 is what I would say. Before I'm 40. Oh, so you went before I'm 40. Before I'm 40. And I always left that as the it. Well, girl, you know, you know what happens when you put things out in the universe, right? Now, again,
Ooh.
for years prior, her father wanted to drop seeds in my back. And I never really said no, right? There was definitely a time where I was fully open to it. And then I was like, no, girl, snap out of the fairy tale, right? Get your life. And so there was that time frame where it was like, okay, maybe. And then the comfort level, the shift then became no, not no, or not get your life, but more of a, okay, here's the time frame that I think I would be comfortable with. So I
Mm-hmm.
opened the door before I'm 40. Before I'm 40. Yes, and you want to have another baby? I would love to have another baby before I'm 40, before I'm 40, before I'm 40, before I'm 40. And the universe is a very fickle young lady. Okay? Because she heard me. She heard me loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
She heard that 40 business. And I will say that, during the situation of how my daughter was conceived, let her father tell it I was a savage. And I'm like, I have to tell him all the time, like, could you please stop telling people that? Because this is not true. You got people out here thinking like I accosted you or something, and you didn't play no part in this. Well, girl, it was a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks before my 41st birthday. We had gotten into a little something, and I kid you not, that moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know the moment I'm talking about.
I know the moment you're talking about.
I literally thought of her, like the moment.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because, these things don't usually happen. That's usually not what you're thinking about in those moments.
Yeah.
And and when it was all done, I kind of just looked at him and I was like, huh, for real? And he looked at me, he was like, baby, you okay? I was like, yep, I think so. I,
I think
I think
we're
we're
all
okay.
okay.
I think we're all okay. And I kid you not, I looked at him and I chuckled. When he hears this, he's gonna be like, I knew you, I knew you bamboozled me, you sprinkled something in my water. But I looked at him and I was like, huh, okay. And I kid you not. In those moments, I was absolutely 110% okay if I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I was 110% okay. There was no pushback. There was nothing.
Alignment.
I was in complete alignment with the possibility of this happening. Again, 6, 8 weeks before my 41st birthday. Well, I I was feeling a little funky one day because he left. Obviously, he left, hugs and kisses and all that good stuff. We were talking every day. And I remember not feeling good, just, a little weird. And then I remember I had a dream. And in this dream, this little somebody, nice chocolatey skin somebody. I never saw her face, nothing, but she had on a pink onesie, a little pink footie, hot pink to the side, with her little chocolatey skin. And she came to me in a dream. And the next day I took a test. I was on the phone with my sister. I was like, "Ooh, girl." I said, "I won't even tell you, but I think." And she was like, "Well, oh, let's just take a test." And this is during the pandemic. So, how did you get pregnant during the pandemic, Cynthia? I was home. And apparently so was the person I got pregnant by. Okay. So so I'm home and I Instacarted all the stuff. I'm sitting at my desk and I'm talking to my sister on the phone. And of course we talking in code because nobody can know what's going on until
You know.
we know exactly what's going on.
Mhm.
And I took that I Instacarted that test, girl, and I went to the bathroom and took it and I came back and I was like, Houston, woo, we have a situation. And my sister was like, no. I was like, girl, yeah. And 6 weeks before my 41st birthday. The
Yeah.
the universe never hears the thing that's not, right?
Hmm.
It doesn't hear before and after, it doesn't hear above below, it doesn't like well, above below it does, but it doesn't hear the condition. It just hears
Right.
the thing. And after so many years of, you know, me saying, yes, I am open to this and being clear on the time frame, right? Before my 41st birthday, before my 40th birthday, before I'm 40. And then just being in complete alignment and okay with the things that we had put out before and just
Hmm.
that door opening, that baby girl showed up and showed out. And can I tell you how she was the best baby? She was the best baby for the timing. At
Yeah.
41 years old, having a baby, first of all, they already tell you that you're geriatric.
That part.
So
Because what are the words that we're using here?
listen, okay? I'm like, well, hello, I'm a young yam. What are you talking about? So, with all the things that was happening during the pregnancy and everything, when she came, she was the most pleasant. The girl slept 6 hours a night. I did not miss a beat on my sleep. She was exactly what I needed
Hmm.
in that space.
Yeah, yeah. And so number one, like I said, I'm glad that you understand what was going on because you explained everything, right?
Girl,
In terms of and I'm really talking about like you said, like speaking things into
in
existence,
existence. Hmm.
right? Like that continuous focus on, something that you're trying to bring into the universe where there's blinders,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
What I also heard in what you're saying though is that there was openness. There wasn't
Hmm.
a fear. There wasn't a stop. There wasn't it was
No,
just I'm open.
I'm open. I'm open and I am okay and I am willing. Like
Yeah.
the thought process in the moment of I might be pregnant, there w- there was nothing that held me back. There was no fight in me against that
Hmm.
possibility. Like if it was true, there was nothing but like I felt the joy.
Hmm.
I felt the smile just behind the possibility. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow, can that really be? And that just opened it up for it to happen. Like, there was nothing stopping me. I had no reserves. My alignment in that space with that possibility was 110%. Now,
Yeah.
his was a little different. His was a
Gotcha.
little different. We had to have some words. But I mean, before all of the things that changed him just before that situation, his alignment was there. He was
Hmm.
clear that's what he wanted. He was clear that that's something that he passionately put out in the universe all the time. When we first met, the first few years, I was like, "Sir, what? Why are you trying to hem up my womb? You don't even know me. What are you talking about?" And then, you know, and I guess the universe gave him credit. The universe gave him credit for just understanding, like, you know, this is what you want. You and this person in this space is good for you.
Yeah.
Now, I just need her to be on board. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of held it for us and was like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
And 9 years later, so my all three of my kids are 9 years apart between them. So it's the first one is 9, and then the second one is 9. So it's a wonder now just being able to see like the stair step of how they flip
Mm-hmm.
their attitudes, their temperaments, who they are. Watching my middle kid go from being the baby to the big brother. It's and or being the little going from being just the little brother to being the big brother, and how he now does things that his brother used to do to him, to his little.
Mm-hmm.
It's girl, it's hilarious. It is. It's a sight to behold sometimes.
Indeed. Indeed. And that, child, that's a whole nother story.
Girl,
Um, that is a whole nother story. But there's so many lessons in here for women to pay attention to when they want to be manifesting. Not saying that they want to manifest a little girl. They might.
They
They might,
might. They might.
but
That's a big thing to manifest.
it's a big thing to manifest, but there's so many good, like, chunks of wisdom that's coming from the story, um of which we mentioned a few, like, as you're talking, because you're just kind of saying it in the moment. But I'm curious, like, for you, like, what's the main lessons that you want women to take from this as they're on their own
Mhm.
manifestation journeys, as they're thinking to themselves, like, why aren't the things that I'm asking for coming to fruition, or why am I still stuck in the same place, why am I still at the same level um that I was 5 years
Mhm.
ago, whatever the case is for them.
I think
What would you
I,
say?
I think passion and alignment are the most important thing. Passion, because if you really want something, right? If you want something, you've got to want it with every part of your being. Don't be flippant about it, right? If you want love, say you want love and mean you want love. Whatever it is that you want to create for yourself and that you want to be present for yourself, you have to be present in it and you have to mean it. The universe is not like wishy-washy, girl.
Mm-hmm.
It does not hear the not it doesn't hear the I don't want. It only hears the affirmative. And so in the space of where you want to pull in and manifest and create things and create spaces for yourself, you have to talk passionately and positively about it, and you have to be fully aligned. Like you can't say you want a big house, but then, you're only looking at small ones,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't say, I want to go on vacation, but are never willing to take a day off, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't say I want love, but then you sit in your house underneath the covers watching TV and eating snacks. Like it does, like unless you plan a burglar coming in your house to meet them,
Girl.
you're not gonna a lot of church folks say, what is it now? Ask and you shall receive. That's not it. That's not what I want to say. But, faith without works is dead. Like,
Mhm,
you can't just stand idly by and say what you want and then be like, that's it. Right? The work behind it, the work that you have to do behind it is the passion, right?
mhm,
Not to say that you cannot trust the universe to give you what you want, but you still have to be open. You have to do the work behind the I want this, right? You have
mhm.
to prepare and be
Right.
ready. You have to get in alignment. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, passion and alignment is kind of where I think most people need to be and need to understand, like that's what will get you what you want. Don't just speak about things passionately and then don't do anything to be prepared for it to show up.
Mhm. Yeah, that part. And I think that's really the T that
Mhm.
people don't necessarily think about. Like, especially, like, if we think about people going, well, if manifestation was real and you could do all this stuff, how come I don't have $1 million? Like, it's
I
the
mean,
same
so manifest $1 million.
right. But what you're saying is the main reason for that. Like, what are you doing to prepare yourself to be a millionaire?
Right.
You still complaining about not having enough money to pay these last couple of bills you got,
Exactly.
and you're concerned about why you can't manifest being a millionaire, right? And
Right.
also,
Or
like,
only
that's
talking about that you can't, right? Only talking about the things that you don't have.
right.
Being in alignment for me also means being in gratitude for what I do have, right? I
Mhm.
love my kids.
Absolutely.
I didn't need another one. Nobody needs another kid, right? But I was never that type of person, just overall my personal temperament. I was never that person to not want a lot of kids around me. I love children. My nieces, nephews, and God kids, no. Auntie Sin, I go to Auntie Sin house like we could roll.
Yeah.
I just saw my first god baby the other day for Thanksgiving too. Oh girl.
Well,
That
cute.
hardback old man. But he still treat me like, he's like 12 years old. Hi, Auntie.
Mm.
Hi, boobs. How you doing? So it's not that you need another. It's not that I needed another or like I was missing something. I did always want a little girl. So
Mm-hmm.
I was very excited that, when she came to me and she showed up, I was like, oh, okay.
Like, are you
I,
coming?
I was like, oh, okay. And it's you? All right, all right, all right. Um, and I was gonna be okay if it was another boy. I would have not had a problem with that. But I think just being okay and being happy and being in a space of, I like this. This
Mm-hmm.
is a good thing, right? I can see the positivity in this, right? It this the way how you connect to the thing that you want shows up differently,
Mm-hmm.
right? That connection that's there, it'll attract what you want
Yeah,
all
100%.
the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I want $1 million.
That's
And I'm gonna
right.
keep saying that one too. I want $1 million. I mean, and this is not just about manifesting the baby, right? Because again, stars aligned. It wasn't just me, right? And every time I talked about having more kids or whatever, years before, years prior, again, I was really flipping about it, like, yeah, whatever. The universe wasn't listening to me, at least not in the way how if I really wanted it back then.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've manifested. It's crazy the things I've manifested, girl.
We know.
It's crazy the things I've manifested a car.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was I decided I want a car. I went away. I think I went on vacation to pick up my kid, and I was talking to my mother-in-law at the time, and I was like, "You used to tell your son to buy me a car." And she was like, "Oh, why don't you buy your own car?" Now, double entendre, because part of that is Um, well, buy it for yourself. You are well capable. I know you are. And the other part of that is, why my son gotta buy you a car? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get that, right? And I was like, you are absolutely right. Can I tell you? I said that to her on a Saturday, maybe Friday, Saturday. I picked up my kid and I went back home. I think I got back the Monday. The Monday morning, I was walking into my office. I was on the elevator. My dad calls me. Hey, Sin, um, I have a car in the back. Do you do you want to buy it for me? Yeah. He's like, all right. He was like, just get the insurance and whatnot and come and I'll sign over the title to you and all that and we'll make it happen. I said, okay. The Monday I had that conversation with my dad, right? The Monday afternoon I went looking for car insurance. The Tuesday, my stepdad sent me the money for the car insurance. On Wednesday, I had the car insurance certificate in my hands. On Thursday, I went to my grandmother's house and met my dad. He gave me the title to the car. Friday morning at 8:30, I was in the DMV registering my car. And on Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock, that car was sitting in my driveway.
That's how it happens. Listen, people have to understand, and I know we're coming up on time, so we're gonna get out of here in a
Mm-hmm.
little while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But people have to realize that the key ingredient outside of you being clear about what you want is holding that vision
Mm-hmm.
and not being um what's the word now, because now you got me thinking of Bible verses too. Because the Bible has so much of this wisdom in it, and people don't realize there's a very, like, people think it's against what manifestation, or because we're calling it that, right?
Right.
They think that
But
it's
in fact, it's not.
right. It's those are the that's the rules. The rules are there. right?
The rules are
But
there.
the Bible talks about not being double-minded,
Hmm.
being steadfast in what you're calling in, because, God will give you the desires of your heart.
Hmm.
That's it, period.
Yep.
Right? And a lot of times people are so focused on the things that they don't have, or even if they say they want something, which is why most people don't have $1 million, right? They aren't preparing to have $1 million. They're
Hmm.
not holding on to the thought of $1 million. They're holding on to
Hmm.
the thought of, I ain't got no money, or I
Right.
can't do the things that I want to do because I ain't got it. Right? Like there's always a lot of misaligned energy that people
Hmm.
are not paying attention to or being good stewards of, right?
Hmm.
And so in all of these examples, right, it's very clear that it becomes about how aligned I am with the thing that I say that I want. Like even when you said that the universe wasn't listening to you, or God wasn't listening to you when you were being flippant, you were absolutely being listened to. You just
Right.
weren't in alignment with
Right.
what you were saying, right?
Right.
And so now there's a bigger buffer in between the timing of you
Hmm.
getting what you want and you not, right? Like that's true
Right.
for everybody. So everybody who has ever uttered to God, to the universe, whatever you want to call it, that they want $1 million, or they want, this extra raise in their um money situation, whatever the case is,
Hmm.
right? God heard you the first time
Yeah.
that you said it,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. The universe heard you the first time.
Right, heard you the first time. So, but we don't, and a lot of us do this. This is why I'm pulling this out, right? We'll say, I guess God wasn't listening, or I guess it just wasn't meant for me, or it ain't my time, or you control that though, because the moment you decide that it is your time, it will be your time. And
Hmm.
if you decided that it's your time and you're saying, and here's who now I have to be in alignment with this.
Hmm.
I can't say I want this thing and everything about me is doing the opposite of that thing.
Opposite. Right.
Right. That will not get us over there.
Yep.
Right.
That will not
You
get you the
can't
million
get here
dollars.
right. You can't get here from there. Right. And so that's a big part of the work that we're doing in the Black Girls Manifest program, because that is the bridge that has to be built between the
Hmm.
things that we say that we want and the things that we actually manifest. And your story is, well, both of them are, good examples of, how that works in action. And I'm really excited about seeing and hearing like other women's stories too as they come through the program. Especially, I mean, we didn't even talk about that. I know we are running out of time, but you've been an OG member of the Sister Circle and Girl Get Your Life Together forever, right? So
Yes.
like I said,
Yes. Yes. OG member in half.
yeah. So, these things are common knowledge to us. These things are things that we talk about on a regular basis,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And gives us the tools and the fuel that we need to make sure that whatever we're saying that we want to come to fruition can do so. And if it's not coming, we can understand what's happening that's creating that block, so that we can work on healing those things so that there is that clear channel, right? So, anyways, let me because we're gonna start talking. We're gonna continue talking forever.
Because you
Um,
know we could do this for a
as we
very long time.
right, we can do it for a very long time, right? But we are not gonna do that. If anything, we will have a part two, or you ladies will have to come meet us inside the Black Girls Manifest experience, so that we have these conversations on a regular basis, so that you can be having what you want. Because sis, if she manifested that, that means you can too. Okay.
All right.
So, and don't forget, right? Your desires are real. Your healing is valid,
Hmm.
and your next level is already calling your name. So, before we go, I'm going to invite you all to download your own manifestation readiness check at amireadytomanifest.com, because it's a quick and powerful way to see what's standing between you and the life that you're calling in, right? And I want Cynthia to give us a way to find her on the socials.
Oh, on the socials, you can find me on Facebook, Cynthia Miss Sin City. That's MSCYNCITY. Brian on Facebook, and at Miss Sin City NYC on the gram.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Cynthia, for being here. It was a pleasure as always. My sister from another mister for
Thank you,
God
darling.
knows how many years.
Girl,
That
plenty,
is
plenty, plenty.
right. And I can't wait to chat with you again. And until next time, everyone keep believing, keep becoming, and keep manifesting, sis.
Yes, yes, yes. Ciao.
Hey sis, don't go just yet. I want to share something really special with you. Black Girls Manifest is a book and an experience that I created for Black women ready to heal, remember who they are, and manifest from alignment, not struggle. If that's you, visit getblackgirlsmanifest.com and take your next aligned step.